Welcome once again to Rock and Roll by the Numbers with Bob and Justin. I'm Justin.
I'm Bob.
And today's episode, we will cover a few things. Our album swap from 2 weeks ago, our badass song tournament from last week and the week before. Follow us on Twitter at rockandrollbtn. Email us at rockandrollbtn@yahoo.com or leave your suggestions for future episodes or anything we may have gotten wrong in these episodes in the comments down below. Jumping right into it, we did an album swap 2 weeks ago. I gave Bob Queen Innuendo from 1991. He gave me Sheer Heart Attack from 74. Bob got Queen's last album, their last studio album. Posthumously, they did Made in Heaven, which is a hodgepodge, mismatch, Frankenstein of an album. It was okay. I got the third studio album after Queen and Queen 2, right? I really liked Sheer Heart Attack a lot more than I thought I was going to. Let's start with some of the songs I liked. Killer Queen, great song. I don't really have to go into that. We've all heard it. It's been played on the radio to death. It's still a great song. I love every minute of that song. It's one of my favorite Queen songs. Stone Cold Crazy, I do believe is the best song on that album. So far, the more I get into this, the more I'm liking other songs. Still, Stone Cold Crazy is my favorite song. Tenement Funster, a song sung by Roger Taylor. Might be my second favorite song right now on that album. Just a different style than I'm used to from Queen. Flick of the Wrist is an awesome song. So many styles in one song, and you could see where the seeds were planted for bigger things to come, including an opus like Bohemian Rhapsody. Now I'm Here is a great song, and I came in today, even after listening to it in the car, and I said that should have been a single. He goes, it was a single. It was a B-side or an A-side. It was a single. It was released. Good song. More people should know that song. It sounds like a very friendly, radio-friendly, easily accessible Queen song. In the Lap of the Gods is a great song. I love the harmonies in that song. And it's a great lead in a Stone Cold Crazy. Bring Back That Leroy Brown. It's not my favorite song on the album, but I did read today that they wrote that in tribute to Jim Croce, who died the year before in a plane crash. It's a fun little ditty. You can skip it if you need to. It's okay. And She Makes Me is the last song I want to talk about. It's a different song. I thought it was very cathedraly and acoustic and echoey, and the vocals were great. And then Bob told me that Brian May actually sang that song. And I think that's a great song. So all in all, I think it's a great album. I don't know if it's my favorite Queen album, but it's top 5 probably right now. So I really enjoyed it, and I'll be listening to it more, probably tonight on the way home. What did you think about Innuendo, sir?
Back maybe a year or two ago, you did give me Innuendo to listen to, and I just put it in, and you know that I've been sort of critical of Queen in the later days, and it didn't really grab me. And then when this project came along here, and I actually did some background work and sat down and listened to the words and what it meant to me and what it meant to Freddie and everybody. Now I've got nothing but utmost respect for that album. Starting out with Innuendo, which is their a salute to Kashmir, and it didn't come. You know, the thread that rides through this whole thing is obviously this is Freddie's swan song, and boy, he brought his A game. But there's a thread in every song. It seems like, because like Innuendo's got, all the people of the world, all the races, no matter what you are, you're included in this. Going slightly mad, the disease is playing with his mind. That's how I'm looking at it. Now, maybe it's not the right interpretation, but this is the thread that I saw going through it. The disease is playing with my mind, and he actually sort of makes light of it in a way, like, oh, just going slightly mad. I'm only knitting with one needle.
I think I'm a banana tree.
Yeah,
that was my favorite line. I think I'm a banana tree.
And I, just love it.
I'm not my usual top billing. There's another good line in there that adds to what you're saying.
Yep. And Headlong, I'm facing this crisis headlong. I'm heading right into it. And we don't need to talk about how these songs develop or where they came from. And this was a Brian May one, but it all just fits in. And with Freddie's voice singing it, it all seems to fit in the jigsaw
you were
puzzle.
telling me that Brian wrote these for his solo album.
Yes.
And decided to give them to Queen because he heard Freddie sing them.
Yes. Once Fred, and it all fit in. And while we're talking about Brian May, let me tell you, on this album, he brought his A game. The guitars are over the top, audacious, and gaudy. And that's exactly what Queen is. That's where Queen needs to be for me. Just audacious
Let me
gaudy.
say something about Roger Taylor's drumming on Sheer Heart Attack. I don't remember what song it was right now off the top of my head, but there's one where he gets like, it's a fill-in riff, but it's long. It's not a solo. It's a good fill-in riff, but it's a killer riff. And it's really good drumming on that album. So I wanted to point that out too, and I forgot.
And then I Can't Live With You or Without You. That's nothing about, it's everything about life. He's facing the inevitable end of the life ending. Can't live with you, can't live without you. These are simplistic interpretations of this. Don't Try So Hard. I really, really like that song because it's like you're just going over the top. It doesn't need to be that way. They're just telling you to do it. So it's sort of like he's looking back saying, I wish I would have taken this advice years ago in my life because I was always going and trying so hard to make it right. And ride the wild wind. Come on, that says it all right there. Was I'm leaving, I'm going riding the wind. And there's nothing more that needs to be said on that. I'm taking my Pegasus and I'm flying away from here. All God's people, we're all included in this. We're all gonna be there someday. It's all part of the plan for everybody, not just Freddie. These are the days of our lives. Yeah, that's a sort of a tearful one, but once again, it's reminiscent of everything that's happened. He's looking back, seeing his life, and talking about it, and he's probably sad. That's
the one that I think is the best song on the album. Maybe not my favorite, definitely not my favorite, but I think that's the best song on the album.
I could see that. And Delilah about his cat peeing in his apartment, and it's just in fact, he had 11 cats. Delilah was the one that he favored the most. So he's reminiscing about what he really likes, and bringing a song like that in is just so Freddie on that one. Then the Hitman, maybe the opus on the album, the rocker of the album, and
the Stone Cold Crazy of that album.
The Stone Cold Crazy of that album, and I might have gotten it wrong, but how my line fits into this, it's like the disease is the hitman. I'm gonna take you. And he's being taken by the hitman coming. Now, I know the words might not necessarily say that, but that's how I just felt about it. Bijou, great Brian May guitar work. And
mostly an instrumental.
I
danced with that at my wedding.
And it's just a great song with, once again, Brian coming to the game with his A game. And the show must go on.
That's my favorite.
Freddie knows, okay, he's dying, but ain't no one else dying in this room. So the show must go on. We got to carry on. And boy, Queen has carried on one way or another with seemingly Freddie's blessing. So yeah, I have ultimate respect for this album. Put it in a category with the Leonard Cohen last one and David Bowie's last one. And they're all very... The artists were engaged while
Warren
it was still
Zevon.
Being recorded. Yes.
Well, yeah, he knew he was dying when he wrote that album. Yeah.
It wasn't a postmortem or whatever. This is while they were still engaged in the whole process. And yeah, utmost respect.
Who was the gentleman who had early onset dementia and wrote his album before he... Somebody. Glenn Campbell. Maybe? Glenn Campbell, yeah. That's a sad album. The line that I enjoyed from Show Must Go On is, once again, I have one tattoo. It's a movie quote. I always wanted to get song quotes tattooed on this arm. One of them is going to be from that Queen song, Inside My Heart is Breaking. My makeup may be flaking, but my smile still stays on. Show must go on. It's a great song. It's a great line. And it's a really good video. He's on a train, by the way. And they just show clips of other videos. I like Sheer Heart Attack. You liked Innuendo. Is there another album you want to give me? Because I would like to give you another album.
I haven't thought of that yet.
Okay, well, you think for the episode, and if you can think of one by the end of the episode, you give me one. But I'm giving you Arctic Monkeys AM. Easy peasy. Good. 2013. I think it's their best album. It's one of my favorite. It's in my top 5 favorite albums of all time. So give that a listen. That's one of those albums that's going to take some listening to get into. Like all my favorite albums, Pearl Jam's Versus, Stone Temple Pilots Purple, Blood Sugar Sex Magic, Red Hot Chili Peppers. These were not just instant. You listen to them, you love them. They gotta grow on you, and they have, and they're all in my top 10. And this is in my top 5. It has to grow on you. It's a great rock album. Rock and roll's still alive, man. And this album is all guitar and it's all rock. So much guitar that Alex, can't remember his last name, Alex Turner. When he wrote the follow-up, he did it all on piano. He's like, we don't need any guitars anymore. Let's do piano. And that album, it's okay. It's not my favorite. Now we have come to the part of our show where we talk about our March Badassness tournament. We have 2 finalists from the first half of the tournament. It's AC/DC, Bon Scott, Angus, Malcolm, the rest of them doing Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. And on the other side of the bracket, the other side of the tournament, Black Sabbath doing Iron Man, Ozzy, Geezer, Tony, the other guys. Before you give me your final prediction, let's talk about both songs for just a minute. Where do you stand on both these songs? Has anything changed?
Since this was like a badass action type movie type thing, I just can't get over the fact that AC/DC describes that they're going to put their people in cement shoes. They're going to blow them up with a TNT. And it gets to the point. It gets to the point of a badass song. Right down to the heart and core of it. While Iron Man, I love the riff and love everything about the song. It's just a hair short of badass for me with AC/DC.
You're talking about the song that beat Jimi Hendrix is now short of beating AC/DC. I'm on the fence. I'm either way on this one. If you've got an opinion with AC/DC, we'll let AC/DC win. I love both these songs.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. There wasn't a bad song on the whole list.
No.
So when you're picking songs that you really like, you got to come down and split hairs.
Once again, the only song I thought to be on the list lost in the first round, Tom Sawyer. So I guess we have crowned a most badass rock song of all time for now, because we did talk about doing a more current song list, seeing what's currently within the last 20 years. When I mean current, 20 years. And we'll see if there's a more current badass song that can maybe dethrone AC/DC.
There you go.
That'd be awesome. AC/DC wins the whole March Badassness tournament. Maybe next year we'll revisit March Badassness. Once again, the winner of our tournament was AC/DC. Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. By a hair. Iron Man's pretty cool too. They're all cool. Listen to every one of those songs. They're all badass. Next March we'll have 16 more contenders. And one of these days soon, we'll compile a list of current songs and we'll do another tournament. Which one of those do you want me to listen to by next week?
I got one that I had before that I thought of.
Okay.
Above the Clouds by Paul Weller.
I don't know either the song, the album, or the artist. Paul Weller sounds familiar.
Yeah, he's big in the UK. One of their biggest guys for a long time. He used to be in the Style Council. He was in the Jam.
Was he in your binder of CDs?
Yes.
Okay, I think we've talked about this.
Yes.
I think I've looked him up. Above the what? Clouds?
Above the Clouds.
I'm writing it down.
Paul Weller.
So your album is Arctic Monkeys AM. My album is Above the Clouds by Paul Weller. We'll talk about them next week. And as Billy Joel once said, it's still rock and roll to me.
And to me, too.